Hey, adventurers, and welcome to the Quiet King. Oh, we're gonna try that again. Hey there, adventurers, and welcome back to the Quiet Genku. I may sound a little stuffy because honestly, I've spent the last, I think, hour, uh, just getting very emotional, and I kind of want to record this for me. Don't I don't know if this will even get posted, to be honest. And if it does, it'll be with very minimal editing, maybe some music to make it a little easier to listen to. But I have been very happy today. Today was a good day, and I feel good about myself and who I currently am. But, and there's a big but here, I recently have been looking back on myself and who I am and who I was, and I realized how much of my life I've repressed. I spent a long time just being who I thought I was supposed to be. And I guess I needed to be vulnerable and get these words out there. So I'm sorry if this is a little rambly. I also may have to cut out moments where I break into tears because that's probably going to happen. So, as many of you know, I am a trans woman. I came out about a year ago and have been on hormones for about 6 months. Before that, I lived my life as a man. I lived every day my uh 22 years ish as a man. I had facial hair. I used the all-in-one soap, toothpaste, and rust remover. I lived every day as I thought I was supposed to. And everything, manly that I thought I was supposed to do, I did it. I did it so that I would fit in and so that I would be what I was supposed to be. But here's where I start to get emotional. I realize that when you're growing up as a boy, you probably aren't looking up things like uh, how to get breasts as a man or how to get a more feminine shape. And it's funny because as a boy, I rationalized all of this and repressed it so much that I just told myself it was some deviant thought that there was, it's just because I was a hormoned teenage boy and I was thinking of women, and so that made me want to look that stuff up. I convinced myself that it was because of some lustful desire. I I gaslit myself into believing that I was just some fucked up teenage boy. I didn't have the words to describe how I was feeling. I didn't have the language that I do today. Back then, I really believed that I just wanted to grow out my hair because I thought it would look more like a rock star. I, even though I wanted to grow out the hair because I thought it would look cute and that I could have other people braid it and put it up into a ponytail and all of those things that I stereotypically associated with things girls would do. But I convinced myself and I told myself, oh no, it's okay that I think those things. I said, even though it's not the most manly thing in the world, there are guys that do that, and so that's okay. And wearing nail polish. It's okay to wear nail polish because there are guys that wear nail polish. I'll just wear black because that's the color that guys wear. Guys can wear black nail polish. That's a thing. The long hair with that sometimes together. Boys will do that. And I didn't want to wear black. I wanted to wear something that matched my outfit, whether that be red or blue or green. But that wasn't a thing boys did, so I didn't, even though I wanted to. I, at one point, even wanted to try on a dress. I didn't want to wear a dress every day. I wasn't that far, and even today, after I came out, I don't want to wear a dress every day, but there was a time where I did. I wanted to try one on, see how it looked. And I told myself it was just because I was curious. I was just curious of how it would look. That's all. I told myself, oh, it'll probably look silly. It won't look good on me. Why would it? But I really wanted that. And I convinced myself not to because, well, that's not what a boy would do. So why should I do that? And it's really funny because just about everyone in my life that I knew, even my partner who I'm currently engaged to, up until I came out, nobody even had any idea. I hardly had an idea that I felt this way because I gaslit myself so much. I told myself that I was just a boy who occasionally felt a certain way, or that wanted something that was okay because that's a boy thing, or there's something fucked up with me because that's perverted, depending on what it is, you know. But when you put all of those things together and look at them, or you listening to this, you hear all of these things together, and of course, some of them, for sure, that's a thing a boy can do. You could like those things as a boy, like the nail polish and the long hair and all of that. But I didn't like it in the boy way. I had a little sister, and a lot of those things she got to experience. You know, the long hair, the nail polish, all of that. And she's a little younger than me, and she grew up alongside me. We lived in the same home, of course, and I got to watch her grow up. And there were times I was so envious, where I was so jealous. And at times it made me angry. She went to dance classes and did all of these things that were very stereotypically girly. She got makeup on holidays. I waited until I had my first car and a job, and I went and bought makeup in secret. And I hid it, and I put it on, and I loved it, but I threw it away because I was afraid it would get found. I was so jealous of her, but I pushed down these feelings so far. I shoved them so far down that I forgot half of it. I forgot I had a childhood. Years of my life just missing. Because those were the times where I felt so strongly this way. I felt it so strongly that up until this last week and a half maybe, I didn't remember any of it. And then it all came crashing back, kind of culminating tonight. I was watching a short film online. I sadly don't remember the title and don't have history on, so I can't go find the name. But if I do, I'll post about it somewhere because it was very good. But it was about a trans girl and, you know, her father coming home from the military, and, you know, it would have been like the first time he saw her as she was. You know, having like when he left for his tour, having left a son behind. And I don't know why, but it hit me so strongly because one of the last lines in the movie is it's one of the only words in the movie. It's, I think, maybe the only line of dialogue in the whole movie, because it's very short. Is the father saying the daughter's chosen name? And as somebody who just very recently settled on a new name, it just kind of broke me because I wish I'd figured it out sooner. I wish somebody had told me that this was an option a little sooner. Like I'm happy now that I have figured it out, and I'm taking hormones and all of this, and I have a pretty good support system both at home and at my job. People that care and that accept me and things like that. I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate, much more than a lot of people. But I still wish I'd known sooner. If I'd even had the word, if I'd heard the word transgender or trans or any of it. But to my knowledge, I never even knew it existed. I didn't even really know gay people existed until high school, practically. I think I was in high school. I just was never exposed to any of it. If I had known the words, then all of those times I asked my mom to let me grow out my hair, all those times that I made those Google searches or looked up, and this is going to sound really cringy, but you have to understand my mindset. I was a child. I looked up like spells on YouTube and like things you can do in like witchcraft and all of that to turn yourself into a girl. Boys don't do that. I I spent so long not knowing who I was and not understanding why I felt the way I did and blaming myself and hating myself and crying every day because I didn't understand. But I'm older. I am finally living the life that I want to, and things are going well. But I guess I needed to talk to get this out there to say it, to just say what I feel, to finally use the words that I didn't have. While I do wish that I'd had the words then so that my mom could teach me how to do my hair, do makeup, to maybe do some of the things that I would have loved. Some of those things it's too late. Some of them it's not. But for right now, I think I'm gonna go shave my legs and maybe do some makeup, get a shower. Just got a long off of a long day at work. Then I'm gonna get some rest. I am happy now, despite what the tears and the strain in my voice says. I am happy. The world is so much more colorful than it was, and I feel emotions so much more strongly. But even with that happiness, I can acknowledge that things could have been very different. So, for all of you out there that feel maybe a similar way, whether you're a girl who wishes you were a boy, or a boy who wishes you were a girl, or wishing you were nothing and you were an amorphous being who uh, cannot be perceived on this mortal plane, whatever it is. I hope you find the words. I really do. Because when you finally have the words to say how you feel, to look at the people who love you and say, this is what I have to say, this is me. It's scary. It's really scary. Probably the scariest thing I have ever done. But despite it being scary, it's worth it. It's very worth it. I know I've been talking about trans stuff a lot lately. A few videos during some of my streams and things. It's been on my mind a lot lately, for no reason at all, I guess. But a lot of these memories have been coming back to me about how I used to feel. And I guess I just wanted to get them out there. So Yeah, I know this was very serious. It's probably the most vulnerable I've ever been on camera. I mean, hell, I'm crying despite the fact you can't see me. But yeah, um, I had to. Well, that's really all I have. Uh, thank you guys for being here, for watching. I I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and be yourself. Good night.